How you guys doing? Hello. It is 7 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? That's my old growing up, that's what my old news station intro used to be. It's 7 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? I think it was actually later. It was supposed to be like, it is 11 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? But hello everybody. How you doing? Gotta make sure my stuff is charging while I'm doing this, because the last thing I want is, God forbid, my battery goes dead. But I hope everybody's having a wonderful Tuesday, or did have a wonderful Tuesday, or is going to have a wonderful Tuesday. I got some stuff to talk about. I got some pickups I'm gonna show off. I got an unboxing I'm going to do with some figures, but I did want to talk about the future of toy collecting. That's kind of the major thing. Don't be shy. Say hi, everybody. Let's see, chat going. And yeah, we'll talk some toys first, though, and then we'll move into the toy talk, as my dog is barking and upsetting my fiance. Woodman, what's going on, buddy? Welcome, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Glad to see you here, buddy. Thank you for modding, also. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. But yeah, we'll get into it. Let me get that out of the way. Put Boshek's head over here. I gotta paint that. Paint the Boshek. But yeah, I actually picked up. Did I bring all of them? I did. Okay, we'll start off with the first ones, which is the first pickups. These were recently on sale. I think about maybe about a week ago or so. I gotta move the camera down a little bit because these are 3 3/4 inch / 4 inch figures. Oh my god, what? But these were on sale for, I think, just like around $35. And I picked up the Rebel Pilot. These are so far away. My camera's set up for taller figures. Sorry. I fix those ankles. Essentially, all of these are on that new Luke Skywalker pilot body, which is actually a really, really good body. But I think it's on the Luke Skywalker body. I'm pretty sure it is. Well, he's got wide jointed hips. But there's one. It was a 4-pack, so we got 4 of these guys and girls. There's 2. There's 3, and these are kind of no-name pilots, but it was a nice little pilot set. And then there's a Duros. One of my favorite. I think the Duros are my favorite alien type in Star Wars. What is your favorite alien type? Let me try and get my camera to move down a little bit. I'm gonna bring them up to the camera so you can see everything, but I'm just sitting them there for the moment. Like Curtis Axel keeps saying moment. In this moment, I'm going to make this moment a moment that the moment will never forget. I don't know if you guys ever saw that wrestling promo. The Curtis Axel just repeating the word moment like 4 times in a row. Oh man, that's one of the best wrestling promos I've ever seen. But oh man, good stuff. Good old stuff. Where are my other? Okay, so here I'm gonna grab Luke out of the bag. Where did I score the set? It was on Amazon. It was on sale on Amazon. I think like a couple weeks ago. Yeah, it's on that new Luke body because I got Luke in my hand here, and I picked Luke up last year. Uh-oh. I picked Lucas up. Lucas of Skywalker up last year. I gotta get his helmet. But they are all on the same body. Even the ladies. Even the ladies. Hello, ladies. I feel like Val Venus. Hello, ladies. We'll get Luke's. But yeah, it was on sale. That's like spring sale they had. I think it was about a week or so ago. It was like end of March. They were doing like a spring sale. There we go. And they all have different helmets. Well, they have the same helmet sculpt, but the detail on them is all different, which is cool. These two look similar. Oh my god, poor Luke. Come on, build your building, Anthony. What are you doing? Build your building. There we go. Oh my god, Luke. All right. We're going to have a chat here, Luke. See, this has always been kind of my gripe, I think, with some 3 3/4 inch figures or 4 inch. I'll just say 4 inch figures. That's really what they are. Is that they always have these like weird detents in the feet, and they never quite get to the point of like, oh, that's neutral stance. Like they never make it smooth. They always make it some sort of weird, like stiff detents. But there you go. I guess I'm just babbling at the mouth of nonsense. Babbling at the mouth of nonsense. Yes. Anyway, so here is Luke, and just comparing it with the Duros. There's the differences in the helmet. Obviously, the head. I'm going to take all the helmets off so you guys can see the faces and everything. But yeah, pretty cool. And then here's the other guy. Here we go. With that. That looks pretty good. Let me back my lighting off a little bit. It's a bit much. A bit much. Oh, now it's not enough. There we go. Gotta get that lighting, bro. There we go. And the chin straps do sit under the chin pretty well. Even with the Duros, this helmet is definitely got like a more of a malleable type situation for the chin strap, so it does droop a little bit. But because Duros have like a longer face, you know, it likes to sit a little bit high on the chin. But pretty cool though. I am pretty pleased with these overall. Here's a lady. She's a green lady. And there's Luke. She's a lady. Whoa, 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 yes, a lady. Talking about my sassy lady. And the lady is mine. Does anybody know who sang that song? Let me know in chat if you know who sang that song. Because I do. But anyway, there's the other lady. I'm gonna take all their helmets off now. We'll de-helmet everybody, and we'll take Luke's off too. But this Luke figure is really good. It's a really nice body. So really, the only I've always said, like I don't really collect vintage collection. The only ones that I really will pick up are if like it's like a EU character, or if it's like a Rebel pilot, or like an actual character pilot. Like these are kind of no-name characters, but I can make up names for them. So, but there's the first one. Yeah, Tom Jones. That's right. Love me some Tom Jones. He was actually really good in Mars Attacks, I thought. But there's the first one, and there's the back of the head. She's got like up in a bun. She's got like braided bun. Braided buns for you. Girl, I'm going to braid your bun. There we go with that. And then we'll get the other lady over here. She's got a pony. She's got like a little braided ponytail. Or a side ponytail, excuse me. Let me get my fingers out of the way. Looks pretty cool. She's got like little like alien freckles on her. I forgot the name of this race, but yeah, it looks really good. Very nicely done. Very nice as far as variation. We actually get two humans and 2 aliens, so that's pretty cool. I like it. The Duros is definitely the highlight of the set, I think. Let me get his helmet off. We can take a looky at this guy right here. And they all come with the helmets and these weapons. I think this is like a DC-17, and they also come with a DL-44. But they come with 4 DC-17s and 4 DL-44s, so you can switch them up if you need to. So there's the generic guy right there. Like I said, I'm going to make up names for all these because they're just kind of no-name rebel pilots, essentially. Just kind of like a trooper pack. And then here's the highlight because he's got like newly sculpted hands. I'm not sure if these hands were used for like maybe Cad Bane. They possibly were. But let's take his helmet off here. And it is a beautiful sculpt for the Duros. Great job with that. Like I said, they made the helmet a little bit like bigger on him, or deeper sculpt, so it does fit pretty good. So no issues there. I gotta not mix these helmets up. I don't want to mix them up. No. Oh. That's hers over here. And then there's Luke's over there. Put his over there. But yeah, looks really good. Very pleased with this. So it's definitely a set I did order it from Big Bad Toy Store when it was released. But then I was like, kind of like, do I really want to spend like 50? I think it was like fucking like $50 or something like that at the time. And I was like, yeah, no. It might have been more. It might have been like $57 for 4 figures. I was like, yikes. And that was last year. So I think it was like around like fall or end of summer this pack came out. Maybe I'm wrong with the date, but it was definitely last year. I do remember that. Oh, if I see it drop down, I'll send you the link, Woodman. Or I'll also post it on the YouTube page, but I'll message you if it drops down. I usually keep an eye on stuff like that for like deals and stuff like that. If I find any like really, really good deals, I usually post it on either the page or I'll but if it's something specific anybody's looking for, let me know and I can send you guys links and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the 4-pack. Let me get their helmets back on so they don't get lost or something. Thump. Yeah, no problem. My pleasure. You know. All right. I like her green helmet. It's pretty cool. That looks good. Oh, I'm blurred. I like the green with the gold. That looks really, really sharp. Sharp. Or is this... Wait. Did he have the green? I'll have to go back and watch because I'm not paying attention what I'm doing. Oh, boy. And then we'll get the his helmet on there. And he will go in the pilot display. So, yeah. I am still holding out hope that one day we will get a... There was supposed to be that Rogue Squadron show. And I think, what was it, the same director that directed the Hurt Locker was supposed to do it. I don't know what happened. It's been in like script limbo or hell or whatever it is. But let me move the camera back up because I got some 6-inch stuff to talk about now. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. But I was hoping, I was like, man, if they were really smart, I would just give Tom Cruise whatever he wanted and I would just have him direct it and write it. But they won't do that because I don't think Disney likes Tom Cruise. So, look what he did with the newer Top Gun. It was a success, and it was well thought out, well planned, well directed, written, look great. But anyway, moving on. Hopefully one day that'll happen because I love the X-Wing Rogue Squadron comic series. That was, and the novels. That was really good. All right, so first pickup. Actually just got this guy in today, and he is really cool. Like way cooler than I thought he was going to be. Essentially, he is mostly just painted. There's not really anything newly sculpted other than the head and what you're about to see. But this new X Factor, I've been waiting for an X Factor Cyclops. And I think I have the, or maybe I don't. Maybe oh no, here he is. I have this version, which was actually funny enough. Funnily enough, that's not a word. Funnily is not a word unless you're funneling something. But funny enough, this was I think the first ever X-Men figure design that I ever had, and it was the white version from X Factor. So it's nice to see that we went from Bucky Cat mold to the Vulcan body mold. I think that's what that is. But yeah, I think it looks like way better. Way, 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 way better. And I really actually like this figure because he came with like sculpted gloves, which was a little bit of new tooling for him. And then this head with the kind of effect. But the pain in the rear end part about the head with the effect is that you could never take these off. So it was just, you were like stuck with that, which kind of sucked. But let me see. Maybe you can take it off and I'm just stupid. But no, you can't. It's sculpted into the head. You can definitely see, yeah. But yeah, I've had this guy for a long time. I pretty much have, I think, every Hasbro Cyclops ever released. So I don't know. When I do the review, I'll get all the Cyclopses together. Cyclops. No. Anyway, moving on. But this is really cool. I really like this. This piece, his concussive blast actually comes in 2 pieces. So you can take that off if you just want to have him shooting like the laser part, or the not the laser part, but the concussive blast part without the actual blast piece. But it sits in there nice and it clips in, and it's not been bowing. Like I've had him standing up like this all day, and there's no droopy, which is good. And it does seat into the eyes really well. And he does come with an extra head sculpt and hands. And then he comes with that Nemesis, the more modern Nemesis, which they really goofed on because I think if they would have just released the classic version of Nemesis, which is technically Holocaust, they probably would have sold better, I think. The figures in the wave, I think, are pretty solid. But where is his other hand, for the love of God? There it is. Come here. Pain in my ass. But here's the neutral head. And that looks nice. Kind of got like a little bit of a smirk, which is pretty cool for Slim. You know? I like that. There's the back of the head. Nothing really going on there. But I like the colors. I like the yellow. I think it looks really good. I tried to pre-order Jean Grey, and she sold out. So it's all right. I'll eventually get her. That is a team that I do want to finish. I don't really buy Marvel Legends like that anymore. Especially with the rising prices, and that's what we're going to talk about later. But I don't mean to get ahead of myself here. But here's the other 2 hands. He's got like a relaxed hand, and then this the touching hand. The touching hand. The activating hand, or the go get 'em hand, or to me, my X-Men hand. You know. This one I noticed is a little bit loose with the hinge joint. A little bit. Just a little bit. But yeah, that Cyclops. Got him today. Was really, really pumped about it. And I love, let me just say this. As much as I give Hasbro grief, which I do, I love their new packaging for Marvel Legends. I think the packaging is stellar. Especially when you got that nice, bright, vibrant X-Men logo on there. It looks great. It looks absolutely great. But expect a review of him because he's, you know, Cyclops is one of my favorite characters. So I will do a review of him. That will happen. I don't do too many Marvel Legends reviews anymore, but when I do, it's usually my favorite characters, stuff like that. All right, so next, I'm getting to the Star Wars stuff. Don't worry. The Black Series stuff, because I do have a whole bunch of them. Or not a whole bunch. I don't have like a lot, but here's one that's outside of that. And I picked up the Adventure Series, and this was actually on sale from Walmart for like $17. This is the Raiders of the Lost Ark indie. So I would like to get just one of each version, you know, because I do have him now. I have Temple of Doom, Indy, and this is his most iconic look for that movie. This is his most iconic look for that movie. And I need to get The Last Crusade, and then I'm good. Like, I just want those 3 movies so I can set them up with my DVDs and be done with it, you know? But yeah, this is actually a really cool figure. This line is a weird line. So I think for what it was, the articulation and range of motion on these guys were actually really, really good for, you know, dealing with like puffy pants and, you know, stuff like that. I would like to get a Marion figure maybe to go with him. I feel like that's kind of like a, she was always my favorite indie girl. But this is actually a really nice figure. I have to give Hasbro credit. The only thing I really did not like about this was that the whip was like, because it was still in plastic free packaging. The whip was so like wound up that it was so tight. I have him posed like this on purpose because I'm trying to reshape the and I've used hot water. It did nothing. I'm trying to reshape his whip so it looks a little bit more natural, because if I take this off, it just curls back up and back up. So I don't know. Maybe I'll try hot water again, but it really didn't do anything the first time I tried. So I even tried to set it underneath a book after I put it on hot water. I dried it, and then I put it underneath like a hardcover book and let it sit for like 2 days, and it did nothing. It just curled right back up. I was like, "You son of a bitch!" But yeah, there's the indies, and here are their head sculpts, and I think it looks pretty solid. I don't have any weird wonky eyes or anything like that, which is good. I really like the sculpt of the jacket too for him. I think they did a pretty good job with that. I got a weird like dog hair in here. Get off there. Nope, it's still on there. You will get off, sir. You will not be on Indiana Jones anymore. But yeah, I think it looks really good. What do you guys think? Looks good. Looking good. So there's Indy. Indiana Banana Jones. And then I also picked up, or got this in the mail today. Should I get to this one? Yeah, we'll do this one. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll save that. I picked up, where did the other one go? What, am I tripping? Oh, no, here we go. Oh, I'll do this one next. Before we get to the Star Wars stuff. Last thing, I promise. I'm about to upload I don't do too many Motu stuff anymore, or figures, stuff like that. But I am going to be uploading a couple Motu Origins videos. Just a couple. Like I said, I'm pretty much at the end of what I wanted for my collection for Origins, but I had to pick up Hordak. And he is really, really cool. This is actually the deluxe Buzzsaw Hordak. I had a local seller with the regular version, but then when I saw what was it, Review Spot's video on his review of this Buzzsaw Hordak, he comes with an extra head, an extra hand, comes with the cape, and the obviously the chest opens up. But if you don't even open up the chest, you don't even really notice that his chest even opens up. It's pretty seamless. And the fact that he comes with the extra head, and I'll show you guys the extra head. And he comes with 2 buzzsaw effects I gave him the more traditional looking one. And here's the other one. Looks like almost like a star or something like that. But it's got like a little like logo on there, his little Horde logo. So it comes with that. And then here's the extra head. It's kind of like a you know, that kind of face. But Hordak's my favorite villain from Masters, so he always has been. Or She-Ra, technically. And that's a funny thing. The reason why I actually liked She-Ra was because I didn't get a Skeletor until way later when I was younger, when they were like on sale, because that's when I got most of my figures when I was younger, was when they were on sale from like Gold Circle or Kmart. And my sister had a ton of She-Ra stuff, and she had Hordak. So I always played with Hordak as my main villain, as opposed to, because I didn't have a Skeletor. But anyway, that's my little story. But it's pretty cool. I think you just like press down or you press up on the cape, and I think the chest is supposed to open up. Maybe his neck's in the way. But anyway, it opens. I'll show you. There you go. And then, so I gave him the regular buzzsaw thing. But I like these figures. I always have. It's just I didn't want to go too deep with this line, just because I have some Masterverse stuff, and I was like, all right, I have classics, I have Masterverse. I don't have any vintage stuff. So like, I just want to get my favorite ones from here. Like, I would like to get Sunman, because that's kind of like a part of action figure history, to get that and put him with my Motu stuff. I think that would be pretty cool. So he's another one that's on the list. Same thing with King Randor, and I got a couple others. But yeah, there's Buzzsaw Hordak, and I definitely would recommend picking him up. I think he's pretty good, and he only goes for like, I think what, like under $20. I got him like $15 from Walmart. So there he is. There he is. All right, getting into some Star Wars stuff. I got some new releases, and I got a 2-pack unboxing, which we're going to do. And then I'll get to the theme, the thematic talking point of the video. All right, so I got a couple 2-packs in, and here's the first 2-pack. I was really, really excited for this. You guys know how much I love Shadows of the Empire, and I was super excited that the fact that we're even getting anything is astounding. I do have some stuff to say. I have some critiques about this, but I actually picked up 2 of these sets, so I can do a very specific look. But there is Bausch Leia again. And there is Luke Skywalker in the Imperial Guard disguise. So yeah, I was really, really excited about this. I was hoping, when they were originally announcing this, I think they brought Luke out first. And then they were like, oh, we have a female character. And I was like, oh, Guri, please do Guri. And then they brought fucking Bausch Leia out. And I was like, oh, no, not again. Why? And I get it. She was in Shadows of the Empire, and this was pretty much when she got the disguise. But like, my God, man, you've released her twice before. Like, this is the third release for this figure. Why? Why are you doing this to me? But I expect a full review on this. There are differences between them. Between the Bausches, there are 3 very significant differences between them. So there's that. Let me take the helmet off so you guys can see what it looks like. She's the barbecue of G.I. Joe Star Wars. Right? Totally barbecue. My God, I remember, especially the 25th anniversary and the 50th anniversary. I'm like, why are you guys obsessed with releasing barbecue? Like, good grief, give it a rest. Nice. I thought I haven't bought any Motu in a long time. The new Eternia figures look good. Yeah, the new Eternia ones are really good. If you're on the fence between Origins or new Eternia, go get the new Eternia ones, because at least it's offering new designs and stuff like that. And sometimes they also offer like concept art, which is really, really cool, I think. So But there's Luke without his helmet on. Let's bring him in here. He's a little bit heavy on the chin. He's a little bit, Robert Zadar in the chin. But, and here's Jedi Luke compared to that Luke. So it is supposed to be the same sculpt, but it looks like the hair. No, I'm like really looking into the sculpt to see. It's slightly different. And the face is larger. I think what they did was they made the face skinny and long so it fits in the helmet. Now, this is one of the better fitting helmets to a head because really what happens here is it covers the chin, where we all know that most of the clone troopers, they have a chin sticking out the bottom. There is no chin sticking out of that bottom. So it's a really nice fitment for the head. So, and the cool thing about this 2-pack, especially him being the selling point, obviously, but the cool thing about this 2-pack is that you can have him as the disguise, or you can just keep the helmet on and it covers up well enough where you can just have them as the guards. So, I don't know. I really like this quite a bit. So, he's definitely got the better head sculpt, but if it really bothers you that much, you can just keep the helmet on, I guess. I don't think it's like horribly egregious, but it's not great. I'll just be honest here. It's not, it looks like someone with a Luke Skywalker mask on. Maybe I'll use some Mr. Super Clear on it and it'll clear up at least the shine and maybe that'll help a little bit, but I don't know. But yeah, I bought 2 of these sets because I wanted 2 of him so I could do him in disguise and then Lando. So, because that's pretty much what they did in the comic. So, Luke and Lando, 2 of my favorite heroes from Star Wars. I don't know if anybody knows that. Well, I'm sure you guys know how much I like Luke, seeing as all I do is make Luke customs all the time. But Lando, he is the second favorite of the heroes on the hero side. But Bausch Leia, now here, so it's weird with her. Very strange. They did some changes. The staff is pretty much a spear, is essentially the same thing. It does feel like the finish of this one isn't as like either shiny as the first release, and it feels like it's a little bit more detailed. It might be the exact same thing, and I might just be tripping here, but it does look a little bit better. I'm still going to take like a little bit of a wash to it just to bring out some more of the, I don't know, make it look a little bit more like it's been used. But so the differences between her and the regular release are pretty significant. The thermal detonator is now painted as opposed to being a blue plastic, which was just god awful and lazy. The backpack on her, for some reason, I don't know why, did they make the peg shorter? Because it keeps falling off of her. I don't know why. But if I like just tap it, of course it's not going to do it now. Why would it? But earlier, I'm not going crazy. This thing kept falling off and falling off and falling off and falling off. It was crazy. So, but I will say this, they definitely fixed the drape of the cape because my God, the archive one was awful. The first release was a lot better. It kind of just draped a little bit easier. I had to even wet the archive one and it still was just like poofy and sticking out like crazy. So, but, it does sit better like this. I think stitching it in made a lot more sense. And then stitching it again to make this fold a little bit more natural made a lot more sense. And let me just take the helmet off. And she has a brand new head sculpt. And the paint apps are far improved on the helmet too. They used a lot more gunmetals with this one than the original. Here's the face sculpt. It looks 10 trillion times better. This is one of the best Leia head sculpts. I want to say they've been kind of nailing Leia and dropping the ball on poor Luke with the head sculpts lately. But she looks really good. Very pleased with her. And I'll go grab a couple. I'll grab the other Leia. Where are you, Leia? Where are you? Oh, I have to detach her from Chewbacca. Oh God! Please don't knock everything over. All right. So here's the original Leia, and as you can see, get the pike out of the way. You can see the shininess of the gunmetal and the matteness of this kind of gunmetal. So it is there. I think the details on the new one are far superior. Uh-oh, sorry. And then to take the helmet off. And this was technically, the archive one was technically the improved head sculpt because holy Moses, that original one was good for its time, but, you know. I remember when I did the Bausch Leia review, I was like, oh, wow, this is one of the better head sculpts. And then I was now looking back at it, I'm like, ugh. But here's the archive, which is actually, this is funny. So I took the archive head off and I swapped all the good elements from the archive one to or from the original to the archive one. So she's got the original cape, which, like I said, drapes a lot more natural. But look at the huge difference in that head sculpt. A huge difference. Like she's got like rosy red cheeks. It's almost like she's been drinking too much. You know how some people get like flushed when they've been, drinking too much? So this really looks like Carrie Fisher, and this one looks like someone wearing a Carrie Fisher mask. So, but yeah, there you go. There's the comparisons between the two. Let me get the pikes out here. Here's the new one. Here's the original. They are the exact same sculpt. Yeah, Woodman. Huge difference. Let's see if they're same height. They are. This is essentially just the same sculpt. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. I think it's the finish on this. It just feels, I don't know. Maybe it's just because this one's a little older. Maybe this one's newer, but the material feels better. I don't know how to explain it, but she'll be going on the new one will be going on the display side. Oh, did I give her the wrong mask? I did. Oops. I don't want to do that. Sorry. Whoops. I think it would have been a better selling point if you were gonna do Bausch Leia as a re-release, which I understand why they had to do it. Because if they would have put her in another single card release, it would not have sold. So you put her in a 2-pack, I get it, blah 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 blah. But you could have saved maybe her 2-pack for, I don't know, a Han Solo with Carbonite. Put her in a 2-pack with not naked Han Solo. That would be weird. But you know what I mean? Like a shirt only Han Solo and then put a Carbonite in the pack with it. That maybe would have, and have like the old like Power of the Force 2 clip system where you can just clip him into the back behind it. That would have maybe made more sense. Because, I mean, the scene is with her letting him out of the Carbonite. So that would have thematically made more sense as opposed to this. I don't know. This makes no sense. I don't know. But the sculpt on him looks really good. He's got a brand new sculpted staff, which looks really nice. The helmet, like I said, looks really good. The armor, really nice. He is reusing some parts from the Clone Trooper. Oh, God, big yawn. Sorry. The feet are reused from the clone trooper, and the hands, and I think the inner torso might be reused from a 2023 clone trooper as well. But the legs are new for the most part. The belt is new. The wrists are new. Arms are new. Pretty much a lot of it is new stuff. And the little cape on the back is new too. This is really cool. I always like this design. Looks really good. Well, you can see a little bit of his hair poking through the bottom, but it's not egregious. Like if you hold it there where you're supposed to be, you can't see it. So, but yeah, there's that. And I think, what was it? Out of the basement, actually, they were talking, I think, in one of their last 2 videos, but they reported that there's only like 500 left of the sets already. So that's not a lot. They must not have made a lot of these. So I'm glad I got 2. So there you go. But just thought I should let you know, in case you guys were on the fence and not trying to build the FOMO, but I'm just letting you know that there's probably under 500 at this point left. So I'm just trying to be informative, not trying to force anybody's hand or make them do something they don't want to. But there's that set. Really cool set, and expect a review on that. I'll do a full review, even though I almost pretty much did a full review right there. All right, I guess I'll do the next one, because yeah, this guy's gonna get reviewed, and it's Savage Opress. This is a wow. You guys just saw my Shizor review, and holy Moses, this is really good. This is really, really good. Like there's a lot of paint apps on him. There are cloth goods. He comes with, what was his let me find his, where did I put his axe? He comes with an axe. Where are your axe? There it is. Comes with his axe, which is a really nice sculpt. This is what he had before he got the lightsaber. And yeah, he's a deluxe figure. I got him from Amazon for the regular, $34 or $33 or whatever it was. But yeah, this is one I think you need to get. You need to go get. But yeah, really imposing, huge figure. I mean, let me bring in my fixed up Luke. And he is like, let me bring up Naked Vader. I'll bring Naked Vader in here. He dwarfs Naked Vader. He is huge. This, I can understand it being deluxe, especially him coming with actually 2 weapons too, which I'm shocked that they gave him the axe also. Yeah, I don't have a problem with the price. I'm going to be honest with you there. I just personally, I don't have a problem with it. I would have liked a little bit more paint on the lightsaber. It looks a little bit plasticky, but this is phenomenal. And they actually gave the paint to the axe. So, I mean, I can always go paint that hilt. That's not the end of the world, but yeah. I almost kind of would have preferred if they would have gave the paint to the lightsaber over the axe, because I feel like also the axe is easier to paint because it won't be rubbing in between his hands, so the paint won't flake off. So I would have preferred if they gave the axe a more plasticky look and the lightsaber the paint. But whatever, it's okay. It's a nitpick, I guess, on my part. And I don't know. We'll see how nitpicky I really am about it. I might just leave it. I don't know. But he does come with like a loop, so you can remove the blades and put it there. So that's pretty cool. I think he's got this like, it's like a gray body, but then they did like a green wash over it. Like, I hope it's showing up on camera. And then his gauntlets are a separate piece, so they moved separately, which is pretty awesome too. So you can, I should probably move those to the side, huh? That's where that needs to go. And he's got ball jointed wrists. Oh, this is such a good figure. Like, look at just the boots. It's so good, and he can he can really do like the splits and everything. Really good. He still doesn't have a thigh swivel, which boo. But neither did Malgus. And this could be, like I said with Shizor, a contender for figure of the year for Black Series. I mean, this could be top 10 figure of the year. You know, it could be within that. Let's get him into a fun pose. We'll play around with him for a little bit. Trying to figure out what I'm going to do here. But yeah, this is a fun figure. I was pretty much playing around with this guy all morning. But yeah, putting him with Maul, which I'll bring Maul in here. Hopefully we get, you know, I would love a deluxe spider legs Maul and then the robot legs Maul too. But yeah, he poses, he'll sit. And we got like purples mixed with like grays and greens, and then the mustard head. It's like Grey Poupon head, you know? Excuse me, sir, do you have any Grey Poupon? Yep, top tier figure. I agree. Top tier figure right there. I concur. We find Mole. Mole. Oh, Mole. Come on out, Mr. Mole. And you got to put him with this Mole right here. But if we had robot legs Mole, oh, that would just finish it off. You know, this is one of the better Darth Mauls also. Clone Wars Darth Maul. It's a really good Maul. The walls in the mall are tiddly tall. Anybody know what that's from? That's a deep dive right there. But yeah, there's the brothers. Looks so good. There we go. I gotta find his blades. Put his blades in. But yeah, that's perfect. Look how much smaller Maul is. He is so crouched down, and Maul is like just almost the same exact height as him. He's so much bigger and imposing. Like, this is an actual deluxe figure here. It makes sense. So good. Yeah. I love it. You guys are going to love it too. You get them, you're going to love it. Yeah. This is going to be one of those special figures, I got a feeling. It is. And the shoulder pads are kind of wrapped around the inner arm. So it's got like that system where they have it kind of sticking out. And then it's within the arm so it can move with the arm, which is, I love that technology. They did a good job with that. But yeah, he looks amazing. Range of motion, articulation is really good. So good. So good. Let me take his stuff off. We'll do some... Take his things out. And we'll just rest it there. It does... I guess I have reservations about these loops. Because they do fall out so easily. If you even like bump it, it wants to fall off. But we'll put his axe in his hand here. Give you a good look of that, how that looks. There we go. Now he's dual wielding. So good, dude. There we go. If I saw this dude coming at me, I would crap my pants. It would be crapping of the pants. Was that a Teletubbies reference? No. I've never watched the Teletubbies. That stuff is weird. The Teletubbies are weird. I never watched it. I was too old for that. I guess it doesn't really matter your age, you know, you can watch anything. But yeah, I guess that when that came out, I was out of that age range. It's for like little kids. But no, the walls in the mall are tootly tall. That is actually from Tiny Toons. It's the episode where they kept putting I think it was like gumballs. I think it might have been Roger Rabbit. I don't know who it was. It might have been Roger Rabbit. But they were trying to get the Tasmanian Devil to talk like a Valley Girl, and they just were like, "Oh, just put more gumballs in his mouth, then he'll start talking." And the more and more he had, like his whole mouth was full of gumballs, and then they were like, "The walls in the mall are tiddly tall." I don't know why that's so funny. It's just something that stuck with me after all those years. It had you nervous. But yeah, this guy looks great. I love him. You guys are gonna love him when you get him, or if you're gonna get him, or if you were planning to not get him. I would be an advocate for maybe you guys changing your mind on it. Go pick him up. He's brilliant. He is brilliant. Another big dude making his way through the galaxy. I'm just a simple man trying to make my way through the galaxy. And then here's a look with him with both. I would be deathly afraid of this man. If I was Obi-Wan Kenobi, I'd run the other way. I'd be like, okay, I you know what? I'm gonna go take a 5-minute nap. All right, so that's them. I'm trying to see if I'm forgetting anybody, because I do that sometimes. Like I'll put them down in a row, and then I like set somebody somewhere else, and then I forget. I have a couple more customs that are done. One video should be up in the next few days. I've got a bunch of videos that are just coming almost damn near every other day. So the only reason I didn't upload today, or actually yesterday, was because I was doing this today. So, but the last one that we're going to take a look at is the Amazon, I think this is Amazon exclusive 2-pack of the Clone Commando and B1 Battle Droid 2-pack from Battlefront. So we'll open this today. We'll take a look at what it's essentially pretty much, it's the Hunter body with different paint apps and the rest of the Republic Commandos. But I think obviously the big selling point is probably the Clone Commando. I think the B1 Battle Droid, in my opinion, from Hasbro, needs a redesign. I think it's very outdated and very spindly as far as that goes. But yeah, we'll open this up. Take a look at it. See how it's going. We'll do that. Snippity snip. Snippity snip. But the main reason why I wanted this is because I still play Battlefront 2. I still enjoy that game. I definitely have got my money's worth out of it. And whenever I pick the Clone Commando, this is the skin that I use. So I was like, oh my god, they're actually making the figure of the skin that I use? That's pretty cool. So B1 Battle Droid, pretty much the same thing, just different paint apps. I think it's the training droid. And it was that was a skin too. You could pick the training droid skin. Set him down there. The backpack out. Boot in a boot. There we go. All right. Okie dokie. Okie dokie, dokie dokie, okie dokie, okie. Anybody know what that's from? Okie dokie, dokie dokie, okie dokie, okie. Come on, you gotta know what that's from. You gotta know what that's from. All right, get the battle droid going while you guys are pondering the Okie Dokie song. I mean, the white is definitely a nice variation. It's got the like training, like target, where to target them. The head, the chest, the shoulder, the arm, the hips. I guess those are like the weak points. That's fun. It's cool. And the backpack? Maybe the backpack explodes if you hit it in certain areas. I don't know. I'm guessing there. There we go. I will say this, his limbs are a lot stiffer than some of the other B ones that I've got in the past. Move down a little bit. Okie dokie 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 okie dokie okie. All right. And we'll get this in there. And I do love how they hold their rifle. It's just so snug. Like that's not going anywhere. You know? I don't, however, like their neck articulation. I feel like I'm going to snap the neck every time. And you can raise it up. But like trying to get him to swivel, you really almost have to, like, that's what I've always done, was I've always raised the neck up and then swiveled and then put it down because it's so stiff, like on all of them, even my older ones, like the first one I got all those years back. And then they have the chronic, like this foot is like always like warped. It's usually, I feel like this ankle is always like kicking out and doesn't like to like even stay sunk in. But, you know, they got these little feet, these little baby feet. And they either want to lean forward or they want to lean back. That's another one that needs to be redone too, is General Grievous. Good Lord, that figure is a dainty mess. But we'll get him to two-hand here. Two-hand that gun. Doot, doot, doot. Doot, doot, diddly doot. There we go. Anyway, the No Okie Dokie song is from Beverly Hills Cop 3. So, there you go. Get his backpack on. Get your backpack on. Get your groove on. And then his little his blaster here. Looks pretty good. Yep, that looks pretty good. The back of him is just like completely like white. There is like almost no detail. But they did put detail here. And the helmet, I got to say, is a much nicer like gunmetal gray. It almost looks like black on camera, but it is like a gunmetal gray. So that looks good. And then here's the shiny visor. The paint apps for the design on the chest is like a flat. It's a very flat color. It almost looks like a customizer painted this. And then the knees are obviously just painted green, like a light that olive drab almost. But yeah, this is always the skin that I used for the commandos in Battlefront. I always thought it was unique and pretty cool looking. Let's get them in a something here. I really hope that they remake refresh with updated graphics the Republic Commando game. I've been dying for that for years. We'll bring in some other Republic Commandos. Here's my custom boss. He's my favorite Republic Commando of all time. You missed playing that game? Yeah, it's a great game. I just played it like a couple weeks ago. But this is how they should look. You know, like that's the proportions that you do want, not this like skinny, weird Republic Commando body from Hunter. Like it works for Hunter, but look how much smaller he is. He looks like a kid almost, like a teenager compared to the custom. Because Republic Commandos are supposed to be like big and bulky. They were almost like bigger than regular clones because they had so much bulk to them. But yeah, man. Would you stand? You're starting to annoy me now. Stop fighting me. It's like back heavy. It's like, good Lord. There we go. All right. So there's the my custom. And it does retain, my custom does retain all regular articulation too. And then here's boss. Is this my fix up? No, it's not. Where's my fix up? I might have used him for something else. That's right. But there's the regular release boss. And we'll bring in Sev. Oh, let me get the battle droid out of here. Oh god. Oh god, he's gonna fall. I'll bring in the rest of the crew too. Scorch and Fixer. Whee! I'll move him over here. I always liked Fixer's design. I thought it was really good. I am also, while Boss is my favorite, if he had green, it would be better. The green's my favorite color. I just can't help myself. And like, look at the difference in tone between Fixer and this guy. I like the variation in greens. So looks really good. Very, very pleased with it, even though it's, not necessarily my favorite body mold. It still looks pretty good. Let me know if there's any other comparisons you guys would like to see for that. Yeah. But while I have them here, I'll bring in the B1 back. Oh, God. Those damn feet. Sorry, Scorch. Sorry, Scorch. Oh, God. Sorry, Charlie. But while I have him here, I will get into my rant. And I like to fidget a lot when I rant. Sometimes. So I wanted to talk about like like I said, the future for toy collecting, at least for me, when it comes to what I think is going to happen and what I think is going to change as far as my collecting goes forward. Um, like I said, we've seen the price hikes and stuff. We have seen, obviously the tariffs are gonna have an effect, and that's a thing. Um, I have heard from multiple sources, including, I mean, you can even check with on the 3POA podcast, which Bobby Vallis said that he has factories in China that he's working with, and he was told that it's not really affecting them. So, like, there's a lot of misinformation I feel like that's going out, and I feel like there's a lot of people that are very angry right now, and I completely understand that. But and I got some backlash for that Big Bad Toy Store video I did, which, I mean, it's my opinion at the end of the day. You don't have to necessarily agree with it. Everybody has difference of opinion. That's kind of the point of a conversation is difference of opinion. Like that's going to happen when you're making videos. I probably have like 3,000 videos or something like that made on YouTube. And like, I guarantee you're not going to agree with every single one. And I don't expect anybody to. But like some people were like really going off the deep end. I'm pretty sure it was like a couple like Canadian guys were like freaking the hell out or something. But Woodman really quick says, personally, I've really slowed down on buying anything new. I've been concentrating on buying older figures I need. Time will tell, I guess. Yeah. I mean, and that's kind of what I was getting to was it's not really to like complain about all this stuff, but it is something to touch on because it is an important factor going forward. You know, I'm 42 years old. I have been collecting for the majority of my life, and I know I've touched on this before. I've talked about it numerous times. I've pretty much Strident and I have both been discussing it for like and mulling it over for like the last 5 years. I mean, on camera and off camera. Um, like eventually this stuff has to come to an end. Like you can't collect forever. Um, unless you have the means and the space to do it. But if you don't, like eventually you have to just say, take a step back, look at what you have, and be able to appreciate it. You know, um, I'm at the point where I want to sell a bunch of my stuff. Like I want to sell like half my collection. That's where I'm at with collecting. Um, there's a lot of stuff that, I know I have in storage. It's not doing anything. It doesn't have a purpose. And when things don't have a purpose for me, they become irrelevant and they become pointless. And essentially, and the last thing I want to be is a friggin' hoarder. So, that would just drive me nuts mentally. If I'm like, you're just hoarding, you're just buying stuff. Like that's the last thing I ever want to be. So, I like to have a cohesive collection. And while everything did fit in my last house because I was single and had a 3-story house to myself, it was just me and my dog. Now I live with, I moved to South Carolina 5 years ago and I'm in a much smaller room and I don't have the means to fit everything. So I have a storage unit for that stuff. And there are figures that I want to get that haven't been made. And, I love you too. Have a good night. Um, there are figures that maybe like I gave up Hot Toys about 2 years ago. And that was kind of a means to an end, like the title says. My dog had died, Oreo, and he's been featured in, thumbnails and videos of mine. But that was like, I said to myself, I got this Bespin Luke, and that was going to be the means to the end for Hot Toys. And I'm almost at the point where I'm like, I'd rather sell half my collection and get more meaningful pieces. Like there are some statues I want to get. I don't want a lot of statues, but there are like maybe like 4 or 5 statues that I'd like to get. There are still Hot Toys figures of characters and versions of characters that I love that I would love to get from Hot Toys. The Dark Empire Luke, the Balin Skull. There are a few others, not a lot, like a handful that I would like to get versions of. And I'm looking at like Marvel Legends, and I'm just like, do I need to display all of these Marvel Legends? Can they go to somebody else's home and make them happier? Probably, yeah. So, that's probably one that'll get cut. And going forward, as far as collecting in general, like I'm almost to the point where if figures are going to be $30 a piece, like I might as well just focus on one toy line from now on. And that's going to be a tough decision. That's been a tough decision for me to make, but it also is kind of relieving because you guys know, like, if you've if you know me well enough and you've been watching long enough, if you're new to the channel, I'll just explain. I was a creature of variety. Like I loved different things from different lines because I can appreciate variety and appreciate different designs and this and that. But when it comes down to it, there has only been one toy line that I've ever completed, and that was the DC Universe Classics line. I have every single figure from that line. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's 99.99% complete. I need one piece for Giganta, and then I'm done. But it's like expensive, and I don't want to spend the money on that right now. But anyway, there are older figures that I would like to collect. Mostly the characters that I always wanted as a kid but didn't have. Like most people usually will collect the stuff that they had. I'm the type of person that wants to collect the stuff that he never did have, so I can appreciate it because I've already appreciated those things when I was a kid. I want to appreciate the things I wasn't able to and see what was different about it. Like recently, you guys would like never suspect that I would be picking up a vintage Star Wars anything, but here's a figure that I never had, I never saw in the store, never got. This is actual vintage. It's not the retro one. This is the actual vintage 1980 Empire Strikes Back flight suit / Bespin Luke, or Bespin in Luke in fatigues. There are certain ones from this line that I would like to pick up. Because I think, what was it? I only had like a handful of these when I was a kid. They just, by the time I was, I was old enough for original Star Wars, but I wasn't like old enough to like go appreciate going shopping and being able to like, oh, I want this figure. I was goo goo gaga. I was that small for Star Wars. So, but there's definitely toy lines I have been collecting that I'm going to stop. And that's simply because I just, you can't afford everything. And that's okay. And you don't need to buy everything. Like I have stopped, and a big portion of my channel was a lot of DC stuff. And the reason why the DC stuff has stopped for years isn't because I don't love DC. It's because I really did like all of those early reviews were all DC Universe Classics. Like it was mostly DCUC and DC related stuff. And I feel like that was a part of my life then. And I completed that part of my collection. Like that is something that I just appreciate now. So, and I still have all my DC UCs. And DC Universe Classics and DC figures will always have a special place in my heart because that's how I met, you know, uh, Rob and Stu and Strident and you know, Terry, and how I met what you call it, Soul Drum and Automatica and Chapman Films. Like those are always going to be special people to me. And and then I kind of, you saw throughout the years of me shifting, and I started going deeper into GI Joe stuff. And while I'd always been kind of collecting GI Joe, um I was making like consistent videos. Like in my earliest videos, I think it was like my third review, I made sure that I did a GI Joe video because I was like, I want my first 5 videos to be the things that I really enjoy the most. And I think I did a low light video. Um, and I'm not going to stop my channel is not going anywhere or anything like that. So I have more than enough stuff to review that you have not seen. That is, you know, vintage and 90s vintage, and even now people are considering figures from the 2000s vintage. uh so I have figures from the 70s, some from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and so on, to be able to review. But I think, and I'm still, I was talking to my fiance, and I'm like, we're sitting there, and I'm just like, you know what, like, I'm kind of glad that I'm slowing down on new stuff because it's gets overwhelming sometimes. I'm just going to be honest. Like, it shouldn't, but it does, GI Joe rule. Brent says GI Joe rules. I really miss 4-inch. Yeah, me too, man. Those were some good times, especially Pursuit of Cobra was a really good time for me. That 2009 through 2000 what 15 was, really, I think 2010 was like, and 11 were the best 2 years for GI Joe at a modern 4-inch for me. There's always those vintage days in the 80s that were really fun to just walk into any store, and GI Joe was all over the place. But trying to hunt down Pursuit of Cobra was a lot of fun, and that was I feel like a good evolution to that line, and it really hasn't evolved that much since. As far as most toy lines do go, I really wanted to dive deeper into the Jada Toys line with Street Fighter specifically. But now at $30 a piece, which they did announce, I'm going to be backing off of that. I'm not going to be collecting that line anymore. I'm going to get the last few that have come out recently, like Cammy and DJ, Blanca, and Sagat. But I think I'm done. And that's a toy company that I adore. I think it's the best toy company out right now. If I could give my humble opinion, I think it is the best toy company right now. If they got a hold of the Marvel license, the Marvel Legends would be far superior in Jada's hands, I think. That's just, like I said, yet again, my opinion. But yeah, Pursuit of Cobra, yeah, it was the best. Woodman says, the majority of my collection is G.I. Joe vintage and modern. Been collecting that line since 82. That's where I've been concentrating, getting the missing characters. Yeah, that's the way to go. That is the way to go. It's so much easier when you can just really just focus on one thing and not have to worry about like all this other stuff. And And I kind of wish that that's the route I would have went, but you know, it was, I think it was hard for me to kind of figure out, like I had a plan and it's still the same, similar plan, but just a lot less. So I won't be collecting the Jada line after Sagat and Blanca are released. I pre-ordered them, and that's the end of that pre-order. I'm not going to be doing any more. Mythic Legions has pretty much been done for me. I got those knights, and that was only because I pre-ordered them like almost 2 years ago at this stage. I did pre-order the entire wave of the Ox crew for Cosmic Legions. I'm stopping that after that. The Ox crew would be the last wave that I collect. I am stopping all purchasing on all, and it kind of pains me to say this, but all the specialty items, most of them, I want to say. There is one line that, you know, isn't out yet and is still in the design process that I will collect, and that's because he's my best friend and I will absolutely 100% support everything that he does. So but yeah, I'll be supporting the SWAT line 100%. But I'm was really high on Operation Monster Force, but I'm not. I just can't do it. That's going to be another one on the chopping block. I just can't do anymore. Especially, you know, if those prices go up, I mean, I can't imagine they'd probably be like $45 a piece, and I'm just not willing to do that. Marvel Legends are another one on the chopping block. There's not going to be any more Marvel Legends, really. I might finish off, like I said, that X Factor team, and that's probably going to be it. My God, my Pyrenees is losing his mind right now. But but yeah, these are tough decisions. You know, it sucks. Like I stopped years ago with Joy Toy. I just couldn't do it anymore. Like the figures started going up in price just on their own. Like they're most of them are like $30 a piece, and I'm just like, yeah, no, no. Super 7 has stopped. The only one I have left to get is really that I care about is the Triceraton from Super 7, and I'm done with that. And I'm waiting for that to go on sale because all Super 7 stuff goes on sale. Um, Brent says, "Yeah, I had to stop Joy Toy as well. Yeah, it just got too expensive. It just wasn't worth it to me to spend $30 on a 4-inch figure when I could get $25 6-inch figures. Like I just couldn't do it. Transformers. This is a tough one. I adore third party Transformers, and it's very tough. Very tough for me to say no to a really awesome design. But I think, like I said, I think after this year, I have what I have pre-ordered, and then I think after this year, those are gonna stop. I don't really do too many Transformers videos. I only do silent showcases of them just because it's easier to just showcase the figure, not have to get into a 3-act play transforming it and me wasting your time fumbling on camera trying to figure out everything in a cohesive order because I got to spend time with a transformer to do the review. So um but yeah, I'll figure out something with. I have a ton of Transformers videos. I might just stick Transformers to YouTube Shorts and just kind of showcase the figure, show it off, and that's it. Uh And like I said, I don't know if I really dived in deep with Marvel Legends, but that is completely on the chopping block. I don't need any more Marvel Legends. There is nothing left on my list other than maybe that, like I said, that X Factor crew, especially getting a X Factor Beast. That's about it. I just don't. I don't. I'm looking at my collection and I just don't see what else is left for me to get. I don't know. Like I even passed on that new Sabretooth. I have a Sabretooth. I don't need any more. I have like 3 Sabretooths. Like why do I need another new one? Just doesn't make sense. We're buying Rise of Cobra and Pursuit of Cobra for 6 we were buying Rise of Cobra and Pursuit of Cobra for $6.97 at Walmart. It's been a total difference since. Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree, Brent. It is. I think they were like $8 at Walgreens. The ones that I was getting, I was finding them at Walgreens a lot because up north there was like a ton of Walgreens all over the place. Especially, I'm originally from Buffalo, New York, so they were everywhere. Let me bring in Luke so I'm not just um. So they were essentially just all over the place as far as Pursuit of Cobra goes. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else. McFarlane stuff. I haven't collected McFarlane in 2 years. The last figure I bought from McFarlane was Clayface and Swamp Thing, and that was it. So, and he's losing the license after this year, anyways, going back to Mattel. So, um, I'm trying to think of what else. Turtles. I have been the only thing turtle wise I'm going to get is vintage figures. That's it, complete. There are some on my bucket list that I really want. Um, there are even play sets that I want still. I still want a fully complete turtle sewer layer, excuse me, and a Technodrome. And I was going to get that re-release Technodrome, but it's undersized. It's not the same. Woodman says, me too. Last Joy Toy figure I got was a couple $20 generic ones. Done with them. Yeah, me too. When $30 is the norm for a figure, it's time to press the brakes. Yikes. Yeah. It's just it gets because it's never going to go down. That's the thing. Unless we hit another Great Depression, which actually in U.S. history, every time there has been major tariffs, the 3 times there's been major tariffs, there's been a Great Depression. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. I don't want it to happen, but I think it was the first one was like 18 in the 1800s. Then it was obviously the Great Depression, early 1900s, and then or 1920s, and then this could be the third one. This could really screw us up. So we don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. But and I don't want that to happen. Obviously, nobody wants that to happen. Wrestling figures. Wrestling figures definitely on the chopping block. Definitely is that is. I have Great Muta on pre-order. Maybe the exception would be obviously Shawn Michaels or Bret Hart. Those are the 2 that I heavily collect. Other than that, I have enough Hogans, I have enough Stings, I have enough Flairs, and everybody else. I think that's essentially it. Now, the last 2 I'm going to get to is the toughest decision because it's between Star Wars and G.I. Joe. And I told myself 1 toy line. And I have to stick to that. And it is a very, very tough decision to make. But I'm probably going to keep pursuing the Black Series and stopping Classified. Even though I have, his tank and I got friggin' a vamp and all this stuff. And I actually own a ton of vintage Joes and vehicles and play sets. And I want to say, I probably have maybe 80% of all G.I. Joe vehicles and play sets that they produced. Like, I have a lot. It's a lot. So, yeah, I have. That's correct, woman. I have been collecting Black Series since day one, and classifieds came way later. So I've been collecting Black Series since 2013, since the line's inception. I mean, it's always been kind of those, those are like I said, there. It's always a variety with me. Like, because the first thing I ever remember watching was the old classic Superman cartoons. And the first action figure I ever remember having or in my hand and playing with, as far as my memory goes back, is Superpower Shazam. That was the first figure I ever had. And that's still on the bucket list. Like, I sticking to that statement is that the day that I get, that's my overall holy grail, is a mint on card and loose version of Superpower Shazam. Once I acquire those two things, that's going to be the day I stop collecting altogether. But with the prices going up, it's got to be one line at this point. And like I said, vintage figures, I'll always dabble in vintage figures because they're fun to hunt down. They're fun to go to shows. And that's the other thing. It's going to save me a lot of money where I'm able to travel more, bring you guys with me, and I can do toy videos and go to toy shows and show you guys that stuff in different states and travel more and be able to save even more money for myself, for my family, and for the channel too. I want to invest more money and more time into the channel as opposed to just you're just buying a bunch of toys and that's it, and then the product value or the production value sucks. So I want my production value to get better. I also need to get some more things for my 3D printer, which that's kind of an importance too. Customizing is going to be a big thing, I think, going forward on my channel. I want to continue with doing customs. I have a lot of fun with it. I have a lot of passion with it, and I want to get better and better and better with it. So that'll be a segment that's not going to go anywhere. I keep saying a lot because I'm trying to think of the next thing to say. I wish we could rewind 10 to 15 years. Was such a fun time and a fun community. Yeah, I agree, Brent. Yep. And even selfishly enough, I'd just love to be 10 or 15 years younger. But I mean, even when I think about classified, like I'm trying to rack my brain as to, there are maybe what I would love, like a guillotine figure, but like who the hell knows? Most people outside of like the diehards like us, they don't know who the hell Guillotine is. Like most of these Marvel Legends guys that transferred over to classifieds that they buy classifieds because it's within that scale. They don't know half of these characters. Like Overkill, if they came out with a really good looking Overkill, I would buy that one. And also the other thing that kind of has really put a sour taste in my mouth with classified is the exclusiveness of people not even getting a chance to get figures like Crystal Ball, Nemesis Immortal. If that's especially becoming the norm going forward, I want nothing to do with a toy line like that. When it becomes, you know, Motu Classics and the subscription line for G.I. Joe, like, I want nothing to do with that. Keep that away from me. I want nothing to do with elitist nonsense. Like, you gotta pay $50 just to even get a chance to get this. I'm not paying shit. This is supposed to be a fun hobby, not like, oh, I'll rip the rest of my hair out of my head hobby. No, I'm not doing all that. That's too much work. I already have work enough to do with family, with friends, with professionally. Like, I don't need more work on my plate when I'm trying to decompress. Like, that's the fucking last thing I want to deal with is, you gotta stand in line digitally and, oh, you know, you gotta get out of here. Just go sit down somewhere with that nonsense. I hate that shit. The FSS was the best time in my toy life. Yeah, I mean, I mean, it was a fun line, but like, paying, I just could never understand. You have to pay just to even get a chance to get it. And then you have to pay in advance to get it. Like, that is like, you know how Ian Malcolm said in Jurassic Park, that is one big pile of shit? That is one big pile of shit. Figures are fun. That's great. But to have to go through all that process to do that? Absolutely not. So I don't agree with that process. I don't agree with things selling out for even people that paid $50 to get a chance to get the thing. Like, Crystal Ball sold out even before people that had their subscription for Hasbro Pulse could get a shot to get it. So it never was going to even reach the general public. Like, that, how stupid are you as a company that you can't produce this figure that you've been marketing for months now and has been leaked for over a year and people have been really excited for? You couldn't produce enough even for a day's worth of pre-orders? One day? Not even one day. It didn't last a day. I've had better shots at San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. It doesn't make any logical sense. So that's where I'm at with classified. Like, I just can't do it anymore. Yeah, I agree. It did get out of hand. Yeah, I agree. But if people can't get the stuff now, it's dumb. Yeah. Yeah, there's no point. Secondary market is way too high. Yeah, I mean, people are going to be charging $100 for Crystal Ball. I promise you. They will. Because they did the same thing with the color changing Zartan. It was like $100. I was like, no. People are charging $100 for, or $80 to $100 for Nemesis Immortal. With all those QC issues, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't. The figures look great. I'd love to own them. But you got to give people a chance to own them, to appreciate them. I don't want to I don't want to stare at it digitally. Like, that's the point. Yeah, I agree, Woodman. Simple. I collect for fun. I refuse to bring stress into it. Yeah, because you're bringing stress into collecting, that defeats the entire purpose of it being a stress-free hobby. So, yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at with going forward. Like I said, the reason why I'm really bringing this up on the channel is because it does directly affect the channel. It's going to affect the channel. I know there's a lot of people that enjoy my G.I. Joe stuff, and there's still going to be G.I. Joe stuff. It's just not going to be brand new G.I. Joe stuff. That's all. And there's a whole bunch of classifieds I have not reviewed. You know, I have a ton of stuff that you guys have not seen that I have collected. Like, I haven't put everything on camera. So, like, here, I'll just lift my camera up really quick. Let me detach that. Like, there's a bunch of retro stuff just sitting up there. It hasn't been reviewed. I guarantee most of those you haven't even seen that I own. Like, even those loose ones right there. There's the female sniper sitting there. Even that Robin. Like, I haven't... like, this is just... all this stuff up here is all stuff that should or could be reviewed. Like, I haven't even done a review of Starkiller. Or any of those figures. How about Spawn? There's Spawn. Haven't done his review. There's all the Transformers. There's third-party Transformers. There's some masterpiece Transformers. Haven't done those videos. There's a bunch of WCW figures. Haven't done those. Classifieds is all over here on that shelf in this area. Haven't done those Marvel Legends reviews. There's a Hot Toys Darth Maul I haven't done that I got years ago. You know, Street Sharks over there. Bucky O'Hare, haven't done a video on that. Motu Origins, haven't done those. So, and there's all the Mythic Legions that there's a lot I still have left to review. So there's more than enough for me to do. There's more than enough. I guarantee I would be probably 50 years, by the time I'm 52 years old, another 10 years, I have probably 10 years worth of reviews just from what I own right now that I could do. And if I did 3 a week for 10 years, I'd probably have, I might have to go longer. I have enough is the point to review in my possession right now, as opposed to just getting new stuff. So, but anyway, yeah, so that was just a talking point. The majority of my vids are old stuff. Yeah, I mean, and that's your thing, you know? You got to find your niche and have fun with it. You know, dive headfirst into your fun land, your niche or whatever. And just got to have fun with it, you know? It's good to be critical with stuff. That's fine. You know, it's okay to be critical with the thing that you love, because that makes you honest. The question I asked myself is, I'm sorry, I'm partially dyslexic, I think. The question I asked myself is, do I shoot a video for the views or the fun of making the video? For me, it's the fun of making the videos. Yeah, the views will come secondarily. You got to have fun with it. And that's what somebody said to me in that Big Bad Toy Store video. He goes, "Oh, you have a crappy little channel." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I totally have a crappy little channel, and that's fine. I never would ever think that, like, I have goals, sure, that I would love for the channel. You know, I would love to get to 10K. That'd be great. I would love that. I'd love to get to 50K. If I could get to 50K, that would be perfect for me. I would love that. That would be the greatest goal. Obviously, a lot of people strive for more. Oh, I want 1 million. I want 10 million subs. I don't need all that. I don't need all that. I'm not a greedy guy for money. I'm a greedy guy for respect, just like Bret Hart said. So, I like to have fun. And if a lot of people like to have fun with me, fantastic. If not, I'm good with the people that I have. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, exactly, Woodman. I have a crappy little channel. It's not my income. It's my hobby. Yeah, that's the way it is, you know? fun time, if you are successful at having fun, you can turn it into a profession, but that's just not how I view, YouTube. Um, I don't view it like that, so I guess I don't take it like that, but I do want my stuff to look good. I want my stuff to look nice. I care, you know. I care about what I'm putting on. I care about speaking correctly for the video, and some everybody makes mistakes. I've had my I'm sure if you guys saw my comment section that I have to approve of sometimes. Holy Moses. Yes, I definitely make my mistakes. I still get like this is always a funny thing for me. When somebody views like a video from like 10 years ago, right? Cuz I've been on YouTube 13 years. When someone views something from like a long time ago, like 10 years, they still feel like they have to correct me even though I've pinned a comment stating that I've corrected myself. It's just one of those funny YouTube things, when you started getting huge subs, you lose personal connection with your OG subs, in my opinion. Yeah, I think that depends on the person. I think that a lot of people that are big YouTubers are the wrong type of people to have big subs. I would guarantee that. It all depends on what kind of person you are. Because there's a lot of YouTubers that are very deceptive and will put on a smiley face on camera and then they are complete assholes off camera. You see it with all a lot of the shills, a lot of the Star Wars shills, especially like Star Wars Explained and all these like weird channels, like those weird ones that are just like him, like Kyle Katarn and all those weird guys that are like, I don't know. But you see it with like a lot of like psycho G.I. Joe people too, because there's those that exist where they're like, so I'm so into the military and you don't know shit because I know everything. Those fucking people. It's great that people are into the military and that's fantastic. Like majority of my family were all Marines. So I get it. You're into the military, but like you don't have to like fucking correct every little sentence that somebody makes because you were in the military. But yeah, there's the Star Wars shills, the G.I. Joe psychos, I call them. There's a lot of fake, especially G.I. Joe YouTubers that I have gotten into personal spats with. And a lot of people don't know this information about these people. So, yeah. There's definitely a lot of two-faced G.I. Joe content creators out there. A lot of shills and yeah, it's not fun. Yeah, I've seen that firsthand. Yeah. And there's a few channels that a lot of people still like and still watch, and I'm just like, if you only knew. I'm pretty sure most people know that like the specific channels like what was it, Boog Nice and like Shardamus are like, these are just people you do not want anything to do with. Like just stay away from these people. Give yourself a 10 bus length a 10-foot pole at least. Let's use that phrase. A 10-foot pole distance between you and them at all times. So, I don't know. But Good point. Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing. Like when I want to say the biggest boom for my channel was probably around 2015 to 17. And then I kept taking breaks, like large breaks, because there was a lot of stuff going on in my life at that time, like personal stuff. I don't usually get too personal on here, but I was essentially having marriage problems. It wasn't fun. Um, Obviously, I divorced that person. Um, it was not the right choice, me marrying that person, and for a lot of reasons. But I got to say, obviously, if I would not have divorced or met that person, I probably would have never met, or Jen and I would have never reconnected. So, and Jen and I went to high school together. Like, I've known Jen for a very long time. So, I can't respect a fake or a liar because I'm neither. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, and I just don't respect people that, like, they feel the need to, like, constantly. It's weird because it's not even that sometimes that some of these people are fake. They're real, but they're real shitty. That's the problem. Like, they will they will shill for a company, or they will make excuses for stuff. They will lead people in the wrong direction, and I don't respect that whatsoever. Now, granted, if that's their opinion, that's one thing, but as an influencer, that's a slippery slope. At some point, you've got to have some sort of, conscience. And then the other thing is, a lot of these YouTubers now, they're so soft when it comes to emotions that they get offended by everything and anything and everything. Like, oh, you're a racist. Immediately, I disagree with you. You're a racist. You are this. You are an ist. You are a phobe. You are something. Because we disagree. It's got to that point where, like, even on YouTube, especially on YouTube, it's worse on Twitter. Sorry, X. But people just jump to everything is racist and everything is a something. You're a homophobe. You're a this. You're a that. It's let me just try and fit you into a fucking box, so I can just not like you, because I don't agree with something that has to do with a toy. Or wrestling fans now. Oh my God, don't get me started on wrestling fans. My God, I've never seen so many baby back little bitches in my life. They need a bottle and a bib. Holy shit. There are people that in the last couple of days, because a wrestler got booed, Bianca Belair got booed. God forbid anybody boos a fucking wrestler. Now everyone's racist. And I'm like, some of the people that were booing her were black. So what's your point? I don't get it. I guess they're racist. I don't know. This is what I'm talking about, though. Like, there's a lot of people out there that are like that, and I just, my God. You can't boo somebody at a wrestling event. You're not allowed to do that. These people have chemical imbalances and need to be checked. They need to be checked by a doctor. Oh, man. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm going off on a tangent here, but I guess it's a good tangent to have. Society sensitive society sensitive sensitivity is what I call yikes. Yeah. You know, when I was a kid, you were expected to boo the wrestlers. Yeah, I mean, that's the fucking point. Exactly. Like, John Cena got booed from 2005 to 2020. He was essentially booed for the majority of his career. And nobody bitched about that. Well, but he's white. What? What are you talking about? Bianca Belair is like the female version of John Cena. A lot more athletic than John Cena, but I mean, come on. And I don't even really watch I'll watch Raw on Netflix because it's on Netflix, and I don't have regular cable. I haven't had regular cable in like 6 years. But I'll watch it here and there just to try and give it a chance every time I get a chance to give it a chance. And every time I end up rolling my eyes. And WWE is far better than AEW when it comes to product and overall product. But I'm still rolling my eyes. Like, I'm still. Oh. I think a lot of what it is, and I don't mean to go on a wrestling tangent, is they have more. They don't have any bred wrestlers anymore. It is mostly athletes transitioning to being a wrestler. And while that's great to do flippy do stuff and like crazy acrobatics and fly around and do all that, that's fantastic and you're super talented for it and I give you all your roses. A lot of the psychology of pro wrestling is dead. There's no psychology anymore. It is just, oh, I got to be here for that spot. Make sure I get there. I don't know. I think that's a big reason why I just stopped watching a lot of wrestling. There's way too much of it. I can't keep track of all this fucking wrestling now. It used to just be easy to watch Monday Night Raw and Nitro. And then once it started getting into like, we got 17 shows in a week. No. Stop. You're doing too much. Anyway. That's my little wrestling rant. There's no more storylines to follow. Heroes, villains, good, bad. I've watched it for years now. Yeah, everything's a fucking gray area where everyone's an anti-hero. It's like they will even take heroes and then that are established as heroes, actual heroes, and turn them into anti-heroes. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. It's terrible writing. Like, there's so much bad writing in Hollywood right now. It's not a good time to be paying to go see a movie. I have not paid to go see a movie since, I'm trying to think here, Endgame. I think it might have been the last one that I paid to go see in a theater. So it's bad. Like, I'll watch a movie for free, but I'm not paying to go see that shit. I'm not paying. Why would you want to pay $30 to go sit in a theater that could possibly have bed bugs in it? I'm not gonna lie. Overpriced popcorn. That's $10 for a bucket. $10. Holy shit. Then it's like what? $30 for you and one person to go to see a movie? And then you got on top of that people on their phone, or they're talking, or they're texting, or they're just loud and don't shut the fuck up. You know, like, it's like, my God. Oh my God. Why would you want to bother yourself with that when you can just sit at home, be patient, wait for it to go on streaming service, and watch it for free? I don't mind waiting a month or two for the movie to come out for free. That's fine with me. It doesn't adjust my life any that I didn't go see a movie right away. Same thing with video games. And I want to touch on this really quick because Nintendo just released that whole Switch 2 debacle with the overpriced console and then the overpriced $90 video games. Sorry, I should be accurate here as I can. $80 to $90 video games, depending. That is atrocious. I know who's going to buy them, but I will $100 video games after tax and shipping. Can you imagine that? Just let that marinate in your brain for a second. Yeah, Nintendo is charging $80 for video games. And the Switch 2 is $458. And if you get the extreme most devastating bundle of all time, it's like $500. It's the price of a PS5. And the PS5 is a far better console. And it's the Switch 2 does pretty much the same thing as the first Switch. So you might as well just keep with what you got. There's no improvement to anything for the Switch 2. I don't even own a Switch. Like Joey does. I don't. I've never even played a Switch. I don't really have a stake in it, but the prices, holy shit. That is absurd. Yeah, $80 for a game. And if you want the physical copy, it's $90. At least that's what Angry Joe reported. I don't think you need a high-end. I don't think you need a high-end TV for it to really. I mean, just 4K, which is kind of almost the norm at this point. 4K should do you fine. But I don't know. I don't see like with prices going up on everything, like this is gonna fail. And I hope it does fail. I hope it fails miserably for Nintendo. Because it doesn't make their company look really good when people are struggling to buy eggs. Eggs are like $10 a carton. Like people are struggling to eat food, and you think the good idea is, oh yeah, $500 for a Switch 2. Like I get it. Like they'll maximize profits, and we got to make our shareholders happy, and that whole thing. Yeah, I get it. They're a business. Everyone says the same thing. I totally get it. I'm going to preemptively give you a shush. I'm going to, shushing, because I already know. I know how that works. I don't need. I know somebody in the comments is going to be, when they watch this on playback or whatever, somebody's going to be in the comments with, you don't understand economics, and you don't get how big business works, and you don't get this. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, I know. Oh, I know. Thank you. Thanks. Appreciate it. But you could take that comment and put it in your back pocket. That's okay. I'm still running on Xbox 360. Yeah, I still play my 360. The only reason I have a PS5 is because my fiance got me one for Christmas. Like I think it was 2 years ago, something like that. I didn't even want one. I was like, my PS4 works perfectly fine. I don't need it. And she was like, I got you a surprise. Here's a PS5. And I was like, what? I've never had somebody buy me something like that on that like expensive level before. That's crazy to me. She got me like the God of War bundled one. But I had no intention on buying one. I said I was going to wait for it to drop in price. I'm not spending $500 on a fucking console. That's insane. You didn't realize. And this is the thing about video games. Woodman just said, I didn't realize the prices of video games. Yeah. So here's the thing. Here is the huge difference between video games and toys. Now, not all toys, but the majority, there are a lot of toys that appreciate with time because it's physical media, right? It's a physical thing that you can hold in your hand and you can take care of, and it can still work 30, 40 years from now, right? Here's the problem, especially when it comes to modern gaming. None of this shit retains any value. You have digital media, there's no retention in value. There is nothing of value in that game when you buy it day of launch, other than you just can't wait. There is no value retention. And a lot of these companies are trying to get away from physical media. A lot of them are, because they don't want you to be able to resell your game. And even if you do resell your game, what are you going to get for it? Go sell it to GameStop for $15? Hopefully, maybe sell it on eBay, and then the eBay rapes you up the... Oh, I just said the R word. Now I'm going to get demonetized. Grapes you up the you-know-what with fees and nonsense. It's just, video games to me, I'm always like, I'll wait for a sale. I'll wait for a sale. I'll wait for a sale. Even what was it? Grand Theft Auto 5. I waited for a sale. I didn't buy a day of launch. I waited and I waited and I waited. There are very few games that I bought day of launch. Ghost Recon Wildlands, I didn't buy that day of launch. Breakpoint, didn't buy a day of launch. I waited on I'm going to say 90% of video games that have come out, I did not buy on day of launch. And most of them that I did buy on the day of, like those are the old days of the Xbox 360 just came out, where you used to actually stand in a physical line outside of GameStop or a video game boutique or whatever and wait in physical line to get the thing. They don't do that anymore. If they do, I would be shocked. But I just don't see the value when you can wait a month and just get it for $20. Like, and on top of that, they're charging $80 for a frigging Mario Kart game? You drive in a loop. If not reinvented the wheel with Mario Kart. But you don't understand, ODC. It's open world. That's great. It's still Mario Kart. It's not Super Mario World. You look at the graphics from the Switch 1 with Breath of the Wild, and you look at the graphics from the Switch 2 with Breath of the Wild. It's exactly the same. There is no difference. Especially with online heavy games, those servers aren't going to last forever. Exactly. All these games that are so heavily formatted in battle royale and all of this online gameplay where they everything revolves around people being online to play with you to even exist are not going to exist. They are pointless, soulless games. If you like them, great. I'm not telling you what to like. I'm just telling you they don't hold an overall value. I want to say maybe one of the last games I got on day of launch might have been. I'm trying to think now. It might have been Arkham Knight. I did buy that day of launch. So that might have been the last game I bought on day of launch. I got a couple games day of launch, and that was only due to people purchasing the game as gifts for me. And I'm like, oh no, don't do that. You just could have waited like a month and you could have bought it for $20 for me if you wanted to. Like obviously family members and, fiance. But yeah, sorry. I really went off on a tirade there for a while, but a lot of that has to do with, the future of collecting and the collecting community and just overall stuff that's been going on. It's annoying and frustrating to have to constantly see this stuff on a daily basis. So unfortunately, I got to run. 4 a.m. comes quick. Oh, God, 4 a.m. Yeah, I got to be to work at 7 a.m. I don't even know what time it is right now. I know I've been on here for a while, so. But I'll bring in some. I really do love this, Luke. This is a good one. I'll bring everybody in. And then they can say goodbye to everybody. I don't know if I can fit Cyclops in here, or I'll switch his head. But yeah, you have a good night, Woodman, and yeah, appreciate you coming on here, just chatting it up with me. And thank you, Brent. Thank you. Who else was on here talking? Brent and Woodman and Brenton Woodman. Thank you. I do have channel memberships and all that stuff. I still don't know why I have to. I gotta figure out why there's no join button on my channel, because I've seen channels with like far less for some reason, and they have a join button. And I looked into it, and I've been told, well, you have to have a certain amount of members. I'm like, well, that's lame. Just put the join button on there. I don't. Why does that matter? Anyway, but if you want to join, I'm not forcing anybody. If you want to, you can. I do have perks. I do just straight up like giveaways for. Oh, and I got this guy too. I already had him, but he's for a custom. I just do straight up giveaways for members. So that's a thing that I do because I appreciate my members. Bring Indy Benini. Let me get you out. Put you in. And there's tiers and perks and stuff like that. Like I said, just everything should be in the description box if you guys want to check that out. If not, that's cool too. I just appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I really do, and I'm not just saying that because that's what well, that's what everybody says. It's because that's what I actually mean it. Oh my God, what a concept! He actually means it. on, Fixer. Get in there. We'll get Scorch out of there. I gotta make room. That's the other thing, man. Room. You know? Gotta make room for stuff. For stiffs. Alright, let's back that truck up. I think I actually got this B1 battle droid in a decent stance. I don't know why Luke's in there. I think that head swap was such a nice head swap. It just worked so nicely. That is a good Cyclops. Put Indy over there. All right, who else did? Hordak. I am so pumped about this Hordak. Love him. Love that Hordak. Gotta love that Hordak. And then we'll put, is this the old one? That's the old one. Where's the new one? Am I tripping? What the flip? Oh, there she is. Zaboosh. Leia. Zaboosh. And then Big Boy. Oh, I gotta move Cyclops in. Oh, wait. Can I fit him in the back? Whee! Oh my god, this figure's so good. He's so good. You guys don't understand. He's so good. Cyclops better get chopped off. His head chopped off there. Oh, man. All right. And I fit you. Oh, I fit him. All right. I think that's going to do it. Hope you guys enjoyed my tirade, my rant. But it was just due, you know? It was due. Oh, I did get this guy. I don't know if I even talked about him, though. I'll put him over here. Oh, God, he's poking everybody. Take your sword off. Got me a Grenadier. I was always hoping that they would have made a, the Pursuit of Cobra Iron Grenadier. Oh, my good Lord. That would be amazing. But anyway, I think that'll about do it. You know what? He's too tall. I'll move him over here. Get Zaboosh over there. Get your Bushy over there. Get your bush out of the way. There we go. But yeah, hope you guys had fun. Like I said, you know, if I offended you, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry you're hurt. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, stay tuned. I have a bunch of videos that are just going to be kind of coming out on top of each other. Maybe like every other day for the next week or so. I've just finished editing another video today. There's another, I think, premiere for tomorrow, the next day for a video. So, but yeah, that. And then I got my birthday coming up soon, so I'll be doing a birthday live stream and I'll be giving away some stuff because that's what I like to do on my birthday. I like to give away stuff. I don't like actually receiving things. It's kind of, I don't know, I'm weird. Well, like that. That's like a weird thing. I don't I always tell everybody, they're asking me like, what do you want for your birthday? I'm like, peace and quiet. I don't know. I'm an easy person to please. I'm not difficult. You know? I just like to, like, everybody was like, oh, you want to go out to dinner? You want to go bowling? You want to go do this? I'm like, you know, whoa. I just kind of want to hang out with my fiance and chill with my dogs, and you know, you know what? We got a fire pit in the backyard. Let's do a fire. Let's just hang out, enjoy each other's company, and that's it. You know, that's a nice birthday right there. Have a glass of wine, you know, enjoy the day. Get some, yeah, have a nice dinner too, you know, steak, nice filet, mashed potatoes, asparagus. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's a great day right there. The simple things in life you got to appreciate, you know, like doing a review, editing that whole process. Anyway, but I will be doing a birthday live stream as I go more off on a tangent because my ADHD is really kicking in right now. So I'll be doing that on my birthday, which will be April 18th. I think I have to work that next. I might actually do the birthday live stream on the 20th because then I have off the next day. I could stay up real late. And it's probably going to be a later stream anyway. And I'm not going to be able to do anything on my birthday because I got to work my birthday on my birthday and then work the next day too. So anyway, so we'll probably aim for the 20th. I'll probably make a post and leave it up there and schedule a live stream and all that stuff. So I'll go ahead and I'll do that. And I'm sure just keep your eyes peeled. I'll probably have that up sometime middle of next week. And yeah, we can all hang out together for my birthday, and I'll do a like a birthday giveaway on the 20th or whatever. That'll be fun. So hopefully you all can join me then as well. But like I said, stay tuned for a bunch of videos. I've got a couple custom showcases and review. I'm going to try and fit in a silent showcase as well. So there's that. Hope you guys had fun. Thank you so much to everybody who watched. Even if you're just lurking, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the continued support. And if you want to continue to support me, like I said, you can become a member, become a Jive Turkey if you want to. And if not, you don't want to do that, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to. Just like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, thank you so much to everybody. Hope you guys had fun. And I'll see you guys on the flip side.